this video I want to discuss the SCCY pistols and specifically the SCCY CPX-2. Now, you can go with the SCCY CPX-1, which basically has a manual safety, and also they have the CPX-3, which is a 380. So anyways, with this pistol, I believe it has the potential to be one of the best buys that you can make as far as like a small pistol goes. There's other valued pistols that are more full size or something like that. But I believe that SCCY Industries kind of has been doing a great job of, improving, and that's a very unique thing. A lot of manufacturers put pistols out that, maybe not are maybe not the best pistols, but SCCY is really dedicated to continually researching and improving the firearm components and everything like that, and it is all American made. What they do is they take the steel from American steel manufacturers and they CNC almost everything. Very little human interaction with these firearms, except for maintenance, assembly, and quality control. They're looking into them, making sure that everything's machined right and stuff like that. But there's certain limitations when it comes to like durability of metals and stuff like that, and that's with every manufacturer. Right now, SIG has their new P365 out, and when I was at SHOT Show, I was a little skeptical of that pistol because SIG has had some quality control issues, and with the technology that we have and the limitations we have with metallurgy and other things, guns that small that are in 9mm high pressure round typically can have lower lifespans, and this pistol is a little bit bigger than the 365, at least in most of the components, but it seems to have a better durability track record. Now, the first ones, they did have issues, but let's go ahead and unbox this one. I have shot this pistol to death, not this specific one, because I actually had to get a new one because I shot it so much I broke the chassis in it. And if you've been watching my channel or you know anything about what I do, I shoot the heck out of pistols until I break something, and I'm pretty abusive. I reload a lot of my ammo, and all my ammo is reloaded, and I put them at high pressures above NATO pressure, so they see a lot of use and abuse. This pistol was a new pistol that I got from SCCY as a replacement. It was all for free, and I got this new pistol in less than a week. I sent it in on a Tuesday, got it on a Friday, and I picked it up from my FFL. So anyways, this is how it comes packaged. Basically, the extended mag with the pinky extension is on this, and I switched it out for the flush fitting one, and you get two flush base plates, and this is how they come. They have the extensions already on them, and you just trade them out. It's pretty simple. So anyways, let's go ahead and get this pistol out and go ahead and insert the lock here and be done with that. So anyways, with this pistol, I want to go over the features and characteristics of it so you can kind of make an educated decision for yourself. And I've made a video called Why Buy the SCCY, and that was me trying to be more convincing, but I wanted to go ahead and give you a little bit more information based on my experience on this pistol, and let you kind of decide, because it's really up to you at the end of the day. This is about a $200 pistol online. I got this one for about $220, and let's go ahead and start off by talking about the size of this pistol. Now, in the size, the important things I think are important are the height and the barrel length. Now, the barrel length is more for terminal performance and being able to have a very versatile selection of 9mm or any other caliber that you're shooting. It needs to be able to propel it to a velocity where it's actually going to have expansion threshold in the realm of the ranges that you're going to be shooting. So this has a 3-inch barrel, and its height is 4 inches with a flush magazine. And guess how many rounds this pistol holds? It actually holds 11 plus 1. So it advertises that it can hold 10, but every magazine I've gotten from SCCY actually can hold 11 rounds. So don't let it deceive you that they say it can only hold 10. So anyways, I'm trying to balance this thing, but I'll just hold it up. So these pistols at 4 inches tall can hold 11 rounds. Now, the P365, which is a newer firearm, can hold 10 rounds in a flush magazine, but it's still 4.3 inches tall. So it is taller. So the thing is that they're just making it a little skinnier, but it's not much of any, it doesn't have much of any less width than this pistol does. It just feels that way because they don't have much to the backstrap. Now, we'll talk about this section here in a bit, but I love the size of this pistol. You get a full grip. It's almost like a full size grip, even with the without the pinky extension, and it's very comfortable. These finger grooves do a lot. Place your fingers where they need to go, and you can get a very secure hold. This little extension to the backstrap actually makes it feel like a full-size pistol. And this actually has a function to it, which again we'll get into in a minute. So we already covered capacity and size. Now let's go ahead and talk about the trigger. And I'm going to go ahead and insert a snap cap into the pistol, because here's the thing. I've learned from a lot of shooting, a lot of dry firing, a lot of practice, you want snap caps. I'm just saying, you can break firing pins, and they typically do that if you're dry firing them too much. So snap caps will basically make it to where it's just like shooting. It'll be very nice on the firearm, and yeah, etc. So the trigger pull is a point of contention for a lot of people, and I understand that. A lot of people want to go with society or the gun community or the gun society's normal claim, which is that you need a light trigger in order to shoot well. That's actually BS. Here's the thing, this is like a revolver trigger, and I don't know if you have ever heard of Jerry Michalak, and if you look back into the 70s and 80s, revolvers are very easy to shoot, even on double action only, and they're actually very easy to shoot even to this day. Now this pistol itself actually has the weight of a revolver trigger. It's almost just as long, it's just a tad longer, like maybe that much longer, and you're not going to get a reset out of this, so you just, go out all the way. You can be sloppy with it. You don't have to sit there and track the reset, and you shouldn't be doing that anyways. Pull the trigger as fast as you can without moving the gun, and that involves getting off that trigger for those follow-up shots. So anyways, even with slow fire, there's no reason to pin the trigger to the rear and let it out easy. It makes absolutely no sense. Your gun is not going to fire as you're going out, so you don't need to be going out slow. You can let it off under recoil, and then this is what sets off the gun, not this. So anyways, so the trigger is long-ish for a lot of people. To me, I go from triggers like this to very light triggers in comparison, and I don't have a problem with this. I find this to be a nice medium between those light triggers and the standard double actions, which are like 10 pounds. This does not really even feel like that, and it's incredibly smooth because this trigger bar actually basically directly pulls on this spring back here. So as you pull the trigger, you're going to extend this spring out, and it's a hammer-fired pistol, so basically you're going to have your little hammer that goes back. This is a very dependable and reliable method for firing. It basically gives you a very firm strike on your primer. And here's the thing, this is drop safe because it's actually got a nice sized spring, or a nice weighted spring inside here for the firing pin. So it's not going to sit there and be able to set off the gun, and that's why you have a strong hammer spring and a heavier-ish trigger pull, because it needs to have that force to actually overcome the firing pin spring, which is an inherent safety. So anyways, it's a pretty safe gun. Now in shooting, this is where we talk about this section. The recoil cushion is what they call it. Now a lot of people, when they were reviewing it, even some of the bigger reviewers, they're like, well, it's not really that soft. Here's the thing, just because it says cushion doesn't mean it's soft. It cushions the feeling of the recoil, the felt recoil. Now, when we talk about felt recoil, what's happening is basically the slide is hitting the frame around here, right? And so it goes through the polymer, and polymer does transfer shock, but it kind of absorbs it at the same time. Not as well as metal, but basically it will go through the frame right here, and you do feel a little bit up here in the webbing of your hand, but it's not as much as you would feel in the palm. And right here, basically what they do is they cut down the grip right here, and it's thin. It's very thin, and so the shock has to go to these very thin points and then go up it, and then it's redistributed up to this very thick area. So basically what's happening is it's like a guitar string principle, where you get a heavy vibration on the guitar string and you use your wide finger to just barely touch it, and it nullifies the vibration. And that's really where the felt recoil comes in. And mostly the snap or the muzzle flip is very, it ends very quickly with this pistol because of how dense the slide is. And it's very, it goes on back on target pretty easily because of how light it is, the frame is compared to the slide. So anyways, this pistol is very easy to shoot. I've gotten a lot of good feedback from women that have shot this and actually had a good hold of the pistol. They love it, and it's a very popular pistol because of it. A lot of people love that this pistol does not feel like you're actually shooting a tiny pistol. You don't get the full shock into your hand, which is one of the biggest things in comfort. So anyways, moving on from that, let's go ahead and talk about dependability. This is more of a combination of reliability and durability. So as far as reliability goes, as I said, I have shot these pistols to the breaking point, and my experience with that is it first had an issue with the extractor being out of spec, and it would get stuck cases and also stovepipes and stuff like that. So that's not to be that's not something that's unexpected. But here's the thing: it actually wore out because it was premature, and that's just what happens with metallurgy and springs. Is they can kind of wear out, but it took 700 rounds for it to start giving me issues. Most people that get this pistol are on a budget anyways, and they see a $200 firearm, it looks nice, it feels nice, and they're like, let's do it. And they maybe shoot 200 rounds through it, so you're not going to hear too many big issues. Now, they did have quality control issues at first, and I believe that was a supplier issue for the metal. I'm not sure, but that's my guess, because they use stainless steel and basically aircraft grade 7075 T6 aluminum for the chassis. The stainless steel parts and the other metal parts, American metal, let's just say I have kind of low confidence in the American metallurgy. It seems like in the last decade they just got lazy and were trying to throw cheap metal into the market to kind of beat out the Chinese competition. And they were Sky orders them in bulk, or orders in bulk from these metal suppliers. So it's inherently it's kind of something that you can expect if you're actually relying on American steel. If you get it from a small quantities at a time, yeah, they're not going to be so stressed out. But when they're trying to throw metal at you, corners can be cut, and that's where quality is an issue. However, those distributors, if you know, the last couple of years, the confidence has gone up, the metallurgy has gone up in quality and stuff, and Sky has benefited from it, which means you will benefit from it when using a pistol like this. They've had several upgrades. Springs, the ejectors were an issue where I actually found it to be more reliable in shooting without an ejector. It was very consistent. It was throwing it straight up and behind me. None of them were hitting me in the head when it broke. However, if you had rounds left in the chamber, it would be stuck there, and you would basically just have to push it down into the mag well to get it out. That's not really a good thing, but it depends on what you want. So as far as reliability, it's very easy to keep this thing functional. And as far as durability, it takes a bit to actually wear one of these things out at first, and it's always good to check with like 200, 250 rounds at first, and typically you'll be good for a while if it's doing pretty well with that round count. Now, other than the ejectors being a little weak, just based on the size and how they're secured and the metallurgy, I actually found this pistol to be incredibly reliable on all the other components. It actually took thousands of rounds and thousands of dry firings to actually get this pistol to break a firing pin, and also to get this pistol to break any springs or anything else. The chassis, again, I overloaded the pressures on my ammunition, and this thing lasted thousands of rounds and thousands of repetitions for the hammer spring here. So anyways, let's go down to when your pistol actually gives you an issue. As I said, I got this pistol as a replacement for my other one, which I ran the heck out of. And that pistol was sent in, I believe, on a Tuesday or a Wednesday, and I got a new pistol back by the end of the week. That is amazing customer service. And here's the thing, you can trash this pistol and they will, you can thrash this pistol and they'll replace it. They got an excellent warranty. They just want to have satisfied customers, and they make so many of these pistols, so many parts. They're just happy to put them out there and keep them functioning. They're for you guys. They're for the American customer. They want people to have a safe, dependable firearm that they can count on. But they're constantly improving to meet that demand of higher round count, performance, and dependability. And they're doing an excellent job, and from my experience. And I really love that they have a warranty that just beats out everybody else. Free stuff, very friendly, very quick. You know, they're excellent. When they ship you out parts, it's going to be pretty quick. So, you know, you can definitely count on that. So, anyways, other than that, I think that this is a very good value, but everybody has to make their own choices. If you can rent one of these at a range, I would definitely recommend it. So it's not really something that's too hard to invest in if you like more expensive pistols. This, if anything else, could actually be a good training pistol for you to get your fundamentals right, as far as, you know, pulling the trigger without moving the gun, and pulling the trigger as fast as you can without moving the gun or altering the sights or whatever. So I think this would be a good training pistol to get you in a rhythm of doing things properly, because yes, the trigger pull can be one of the harshest ones if you don't really have the skills to perform with anything other than a very light trigger that goes off just from, you know, you touching it. But I believe that this pistol has a lot of value, and experienced shooters will probably find this to be an excellent performer. It is accurate, as mechanically accurate as any other pistol. It's just short sight radius, discipline is everything, and precision is everything. And I'm going to do a video on other parts of this pistol and how it works, why it's made the way it is. So look forward to that in the future. But, you know, SCCY CPX-2, SCCY pistols in general, a best buy? Yeah, maybe. It's up to you. Thanks a lot for watching. Go ahead and look at my article and read my article on my blog. I'll put a link down in the description below. Follow me on social media, also link down in the description below. And I like to post you know, things I'm doing and answer questions on the comments below and on my social media. And I appreciate any interaction on my blog and all the other ways that you can contact me. So thanks a lot for watching. You guys have a good one.